Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the late Apex. Hopefully you are all well today. Today we'll be discussing everything to do with sim racing over the past 7 days, including a controversial Max Verstappen overtake, but in the sim racing world. We've got announcements from MOZA. We've got the interesting AC Evo launch, which, as we talk, is still sort of up in the air. Also, the opening rounds of F1 sim racing in 2025. We're looking ahead as well to Daytona 24, which is happening in a couple of days' time. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is David Sampson. David, how have you been these past 7 days? Are you sick of Daytona yet?
A little, yeah. I did a race today and I was a bit done. I was just looking down how many laps left to checkered because I'm not, it's just a style of racing that's not conducive to repetitive doing. Fuel saving, staying in the draft, do I bump draft, do I follow? You know, you race a couple of times and they either work or it doesn't work. But so to answer your question, I'm a bit looking forward to anything next week.
Well, I find it quite weird, and we'll talk more about Daytona 24 later on. But our first news story, and we'll address it first, seeing that's the title for the video, at least as we speak. It feels like, how has Daytona 24 not already happened? Because we had our Raw before 24 event.
Yep.
We had GT Sprint there a couple of weeks ago. We've had IMSA this week. And then, of course, we had the season finale of the IMSA Global Esports Championship, which happened at Daytona at the weekend. And Max Verstappen was involved as a wildcard entry, as we reported last week. And he made quite the impression.
It's crazy, right? How can you have a wild card entry that impacts the Williams were looking for the win, right? You know, they were leading the championship, red line close behind, and now they, in my terms, Magic get a third team of one of the most aggressive T1 drivers on the planet,
and a driver of such quality that he has the ability to affect. Like, of course, if he was slow, make no difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he was fast. Let's have a clip if anyone hasn't seen it. Make your own opinions. So Max Verstappen on the inside here against the Williams car, and he makes
it's a move we've seen before.
A failed overtake.
Can we just talk? This broadcast, A, was really good. B, when I jumped on YouTube on my couch just watching, had like 1,300 people watching it. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
Max.
I wonder why.
Yo.
It's Oh, interesting. Sorry. So I linked the IMSA official broadcast, which had 46,000 views, but I think the
Wow.
iRacing one had like 25,000.
I'm not sure which one I was watching. I just fired it up on YouTube.
I think the iRacing one, yeah, I was the one that was recommended to me. So, yeah. So very, very controversial. Of course, the reason why Max went for the move, as David was saying before, Williams were leading the championship. You had Verstappen representing Verstappen.com, but he is a red line driver. Red line were battling, and co-owner. Red line were battling Williams for the title.
Williams had pole.
Williams had pole, so Max went on the inside, took out the Williams car. Red line went through. However, it didn't work. They could have won the title. However, Chris Lullum sped on pit entry midway through the race, got a 40-second stop and hold, and he finished 40 seconds off the lead in the end to finish like 10th place. And so in the end, Williams won. And
how are we for conspiracy theories?
Oh, you think he deliberately sped? It's possible.
He had a 10-second lead.
The thing that I saw, he was over 15 miles an hour over the speed limit.
I don't know. He just had... This was a walk-in.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people told me when I was talking about this live, like, oh, it was still high stress. Not for Lullum. Not with a 10-second lead at a track he's done. No, I'm not saying he can't make mistakes. He can. But did he?
I mean, 15 miles an hour is crazy. Like, that's not a small amount. That's like...
one lock-up, I suppose, is easy to put 15 over, right? Because if you lock on entry...
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know the cars better than me.
But I'm just saying, it was like... We're now only talking about the one incident, and that's fine. It would have been a much different story had that actually impacted the race. Yeah. It didn't. Well, you know what I mean? It was a... I'm not saying... I don't know.
And it's weird as well because this is an IMSA championship. I know Max is a big guy, but like he's an F1 driver. And so for IMSA would feel annoyed more that it wasn't an IMSA driver who did it. Than an F1 driver. Like this guy from Europe comes over into our virtual championship and makes a mockery of the result. So, I mean, how bad do you think it was? Like, do you think, like, how would you, if you were running the series and it did decide the championship, what would you have done in that situation? Would you say no? Williams are the champions? We know they scored more points, but we're reversing the result.
Well, no. Racing's racing. Getting crashed out is part of racing. It's
even if it's
you can penalise the Verstappen car to the ground, but you can't magic give Williams points. That's what I'm trying to say.
But say let's say an even more extreme scenario. Let's say he held back, dropped a lap down, and wiped out the Williams car as it was coming round to lap him. What would you do then? Again,
it's the same problem. You could ban Verstappen, you can penalise the Verstappen.com car, but
you can't penalise. So you
can't undo the action, unfortunately. It's just not...
But you could just disqualify them from the championship. You could do a Schumacher 97.
Yeah, but Verstappen.com weren't in the championship fight. It was the red line car.
Yeah, but...
You can't disqualify the red line car for the Verstappen.com car's accident.
But doesn't that open a can of worms where when we see PECC, where we got 10 Coanda drivers... 10 red line drivers, 9 of them should just wipe out each other and leave.
Yeah, I mean, look, it falls on IMSA for allowing a wild card in the last round.
That was the biggest mistake,
Yeah, that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great for sim racing. We're talking about it. I actually enjoyed it. Lots of people were watching it. I'm sure Max didn't intently do it. I
think he, had two outcomes. Either I make a fantastic move and take the lead, or... I hit him, but it's fair.
Yeah.
In that regard, in terms of his mentality, but I do think a bit. I think before the race, whenever you go into a championship finale like that, you should say, "All right, if there is anything untoward, if there is like a thing that you do in order to manipulate the championship unfairly, like." If you deliberately hit out your championship rival so you both don't score points, I think that should be reversal. But let us know what you think.
Related story to this, I had the Max Gustavo pairing. Me and Mark were doing the 6 hour last weekend after the podcast. And Max and Gustavo were in it. We're in GTP as well. 50 laps in, they lap us. Okay, Gustavo's driving the car. I know him well. He was weaving to say hello. So I'm like, okay, don't crash this car, David. T1, I take the normal human line behind him. I'm in draft.
The tighter line.
Yeah, so he went the crazy new line. I went the shallow, And for a split second, even with triple 32s, I didn't know where he was.
Sure.
And I'm
I'm waiting for him to rejoin yet.
waiting for him to cut across me. My heart sunk for a split second that I was going to wipe out the Gustavo Verstappen pair. But no, didn't. I enjoyed the race, though. Did you watch the race?
I didn't see the full race, no.
Oh, okay. I had it on the background. It was a good race. Really good fight in GTD. GTP just felt like the race was over and it was all just I think both cars were about a second down after the incident. So it was a shame.
It was a great result for the Apex car. We usually talk about Apex Racing team results later, but the 198 GTD car managed to win. It's been a little bit of a difficult season, I think, for all the Apex cars, but the 198 performed really well.
It was awesome to watch, yeah.
And congratulations as well to the number 5 Williams esports car, because that won in the GTD category. So Williams won something at least.
And the championship.
Oh, sorry, they won both. Yeah, they won both the championships. They won GTP and GTD. Yeah, so congratulations to them. Absolutely impressive clean sweep for them. Shall we talk about AC Evo next?
Yes. Should we see how it's developing? Oh, well,
this is arguably the biggest news today. AC Evo is launching today, the early access at least. It's got about 20 cars and I think about 6 circuits as well. Was meant to launch at 3 o'clock UK time. So about an hour and 11 ago as I'm speaking. However, the launch has been problematic and we have many different streamers waiting to play this game. Of course, it's a big moment. It could be one of the biggest games of the decade, this one. And at the moment, no one's able to play it.
I was just checking my phone, which I would never do on the podcast, to see if my key has come in. But it has not.
No.
So, this was meant to go live hour and 10 ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, I gave that up, the opportunity to stream the game live.
Oh, and we appreciate
it. To come here.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought the servers down and stuff, so no one else.
Yeah,
if I can't play it, no one play it. But yeah, I don't know what to say. It's been, obviously we're in the studio now, so we can't hear anything. But if anyone's got any updates in chat, but as far as I'm concerned, it was just radio silence. Just told
the worst.
Told all the content creators to tell all their communities what time, when to go live. Like not a paid arrangement, but just being forward on what's happening. Going to give you the game, go live, blah, blah, blah. And nothing. Sorry, the go live wasn't a requirement. They just gave us the game. They just told us when the game was going to go live. Yeah. So then you've got all the content creators live.
We're getting a couple of messages. Apparently it is live now. Some are in the game. So exciting stuff. I think you were saying before it's £30, is it?
Well, I haven't checked the official release on Steam, right? Let's have a look.
But I think I guess as a comparison, it's difficult to compare different games. But I think Le Mans Ultimate, when that was released on early access, I think that was £20.
Yeah,
and of course that was to keep the company afloat.
So it is out, $32.99 down to $26.93. It's on sale.
It's on sale.
20% off.
So when we get that early access, any ideas what's going to happen when the full game comes out?
I know nothing. It just says an introductory offer that ends Jan 30th. What are you saying? Like when they give us 20 more cars, do we have to pay for that?
Yeah, like when the game actually gets released.
No idea.
Not quite sure what's going on.
I would assume, if I remember how they did ACC, it was almost, I think ACC was cheaper. It was like 14. And then they just kept scaling up the price. But whatever you bought it at, you kept it at. That's how I think they did ACC. Because I got a bit scuffed on that because I bought it for the introductory price. I opened it up. It was awful. ACC, I don't know if people remember how bad it was for FPS and drivability when it first launched. The only game on Steam I've ever refunded is that. Problem is, a couple months later, I bought it for $59.99. And I didn't realise I could have actually held on to the license. Anyway, but that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do with this. I'm just saying that's how they scoured the launch last time. In AC, I don't know. It just says, get instant access and start playing. Get involved as the game develops. Games and Internets are not developed. But it's the same at the moment, 9 FPS. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in content creators, I can give you an insight. It is very difficult. This is why I don't like it doing this way. I don't like them giving us the game the same time as we're live, because we have to download it, install it, make sure nothing goes wrong there, all the drivers, whatever. Then we've got to set up the FOV, the force feedback, people asking questions. The game we're having FPS issues. Do I need to restart the game for this graphical change or not? And you're a couple of hours before you're smooth into it. And obviously, a lot of people have drifted out the stream and then they get asked, what was it like? And it looks like a mess. When it's not, it's just we have no idea. Like, we have no idea
got nothing else to base it on.
Yeah, we got no settings or what to do. But yeah, so that's good then. So the new breaking news is it's now out.
Yes, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be trying it out. Of course, got very good feedback when they had it at the Simracing Expo last year. Shall we move on to... Well, let's go back a moment with our notes and talk about MOZA. You know more about this one than I do, but they've got the FSR2 Formula Wheel newly announced.
Yes, it looks pretty good. Sorry, I wasn't just jumping on.
And this was announced only 2 hours ago. This is fresh off the press.
Yes, we've actually there's 3 stories on our notes that have developed while we've been live. But yeah, this is a good-looking wheel. I mean, it's very distinctively MOZA. I'll let you do that. Sorry. Yeah, very distinctively MOZA. But I think the price is good. The feature set is good. It's got a screen, got the RPMs. Obviously, I can't help see the Fanatec inspiration. Those grips just look like they were molded from a Fanatec Formula Wheel in the early days. But, I mean, I can't remember Steve Jobs' quote, but something to do with the best steel. I can't remember. There's a great quote, but I've ruined it now. It's over.
That was the quote.
Yeah, something steel is good.
He was a bit of a mumbler.
Yeah.
That's Steve.
But I think, yeah, good price. I think it was £649 for the wheel. And the dash looked nice. From the small pictures I've seen, so what have we got? Customizable, 6 paddle design. I imagine you pay for each of the paddle shifters, though. Like, you don't just get 7 on... Oh, maybe you do. Let's see. But yeah, actually the screen, I think it was this release, £195 for the screen. I think it's further down. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like it's actually just trimmed around the screen and RPM. It's quite nice. Like, seen a lot of bulky design. This looks like it just clips onto the DD. And I think it looks really clear, apart from their logo.
Sure.
It's a lot. Like, yeah, if you've got a MOZA wheel and a MOZA base and a MOZA screen, there's a lot of MOZA in your face. But nothing some duct tape can't fix. Yeah, I think it is good. Good price. I think MOZA are just... They're feeling so brave and confident right now. They're just releasing things.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, that looks good. Let's get it out. Mass sell it. But yeah, no, I can't complain. It just looks... They're taking the Fanatec charge that's been pulled away from Fanatec over these last... I don't know the financials of how they're doing Fanatec, but I just don't hear people talking about them since the Black Friday disaster.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, MOZA still doing very well. We've also got news about WRC.
Yeah, this happened 18 minutes ago. So this, I'm going to let you pronounce that. You're much braver than I.
Le Maestros?
Le Maestros, there you go. This got released a few minutes ago. New liveries, new moments.
New cars, 6 classic cars.
Oh, the Peugeot 206, I have one of them. Oh, I need to get this now. I'm never sold on liveries. I get it. If you're a fan of the...
Yeah.
Oh, stages. Here we go. Graphics do look good, must say. And this is the one Jamie plays a lot, right? It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. I need to get this now. You can do the 206.
Have you heard anything when it comes to the Unreal Engine element of this? I mean, when it first released, there was a lot of complaints about sort of micro freezers and...
I know they were ahead of the football with things like VR, so they're obviously running a very bleeding edge version. Yeah, no, I've heard more and more positive things as time goes by.
Yeah, I haven't heard many complaints about it recently.
No, not at all. It looks good. And it's good they're releasing content. And yeah, so that was, you had to watch that here. We just did a watch along of something a few minutes ago. That's pro.
Yeah.
That's a pro move.
That's really pro.
It's lucky we timed all that with EA. So
I'm sure the podcast listeners who are listening to this 2 days later really appreciate that.
True, but we couldn't just make broom sounds. So make sure you check out the WRC 24 Le Maestro reveal the era of French dominance. I didn't really pick up on that, apart from all the Portugal stages. Yeah, they're reaching.
Yeah. I mean, even Monaco. I guess the Monaco stages are in France.
True.
Are
And they had the Peugeots, the Citroens, so yeah.
Let's talk about iRacing 24, Daytona 24, sorry. It's usually the biggest event of the year. It seems like every year there's more and more teams.
Yep.
I think it was something like 80,000 drivers have taken part in last year.
Well, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, iRacing are claiming this is going to be the biggest sim racing event.
It's usually, it usually goes up, say, 5-10% each year. So
that's crazy.
It will probably be the biggest yet. There is a chance of rain, 27% chance of rain, most likely in the early morning. So chance that it won't rain. I mean, that's what 27%. I know it's easy to think of 27% as being, oh, well, will it rain for 27% of the race? But no, that is at the peak, at the most likely point of it raining is 27%. For 3/4 of the race, there's 0% chance of rain.
How I've started to look at it, though, let's break it down into an hourly. Like, they had to program this game somehow, right? So let's break it down into hourly chances. If there's 27% chance of a dice roll, 27%. Dice doesn't work 27. Let's pretend it does. Okay? Every hour, there's a 27% chance. If I word it that way, doesn't it sound like it's going to rain? If every hour...
not every hour, though.
All right, but every hour there's a 8, 16,
Yeah.
20, 24, 23, 27,
So I think
17.
Yeah, so to be fair, yeah, you're right. In terms of, there's like a 4-hour period where there's about a 20 to
Correct.
27% chance
And then the
of
rest
rain.
is like 15-ish for about another 8 hours around that, I think.
So I guess if it's 4 hours and there's a 1 in 4 chance of
Correct,
it
that's
raining
how
each of those hours, then it might rain.
That's what
Like, not certainly.
I'm not. I always get confused, especially when I'm just trying to describe this, because I actually don't know.
No, I don't know. No.
It doesn't sound a lot when you just say...
in real life, when it says 27% chance, that means out of an area, 27% of that area will be
Correct.
saturated at any one time.
it's going to rain, but 27% of your area or something. Very confusing.
But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it works with iRacing. So, but of course, it might just be a drop of rain. And it's like, oh yeah, it rained.
Correct.
So it might not actually be enough. And of course, from our Raw before the 24-hour event last week, we had, 2 hours of rain almost, and it never got wet enough for wet tyres. So it may not. So have you been doing any practice in the rain?
Are my team listening? Yes, of course.
What time are you meant to be racing? You might be racing in the part of the race where it's 0%.
Start.
0% chance.
2 hours at the start, 2 hours at the end, and 1 hour in the middle. I've got 11 hours off, and basically I've got 11-hour breaks.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Plenty of sleep.
I'll forget the race is on.
Yeah.
Just be sat there and get a text like, "You coming back? Well, for what?" Yeah. So no. I mean, I love the rain. I've done it at Daytona a lot as well. I will get some hours in, but I've just been racing IMSAs all week just to feel out the car. There was a big bop. I say a big bop. Every car had, like, let's say between half an engine and 1.75. Basically, they hit the vet hard yesterday. And the BMW, they just took all the bop away.
Okay.
There's no fuel and no engine bop in the Bimmer. And now if you look, everyone's in the Bimmer.
Sure.
But
was it because it was perceived that they went too far with it?
I don't.
And so they just thought, okay, well...
I assumed it was money.
But why would they put the bop in there in the first place?
Because the check didn't clear, and then they were like, "Oh, we've sent you a new check,"
Sure,
and then that cleared. All right, gone.
Well, the safety car and all the other cars going to be BMW.
It's not good in the rain though, so this is the
Sure.
hesitancy I think we're going to see in the 24. We've decided to not go with it because it's just really tricky in the wet.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good race. Obviously, Verstappen's going to be in GTP. That's going to...
Racing for Verstappen or Red Line, do you know?
I don't know. I assume Verstappen.com because he's doing it with Gustavo again. So it's almost like they've done the 6 hour, the IMSA esports. I don't know, though. Like, it could very well be Redline. I haven't looked into it. Yeah. But actually, if it's a team event of a 24, I assume it's going to be Redline.
Yeah, I guess he's going to need more than just Gustavo.
Correct, yeah.
Although I've heard that, I won't say who it is, but a couple of our drivers might be trying it as a duo. So
I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
We
we don't actually know what the teams are confirmed for Apex Racing Team, but do make sure to follow the Apex Racing Team social medias.
Actually, yes. No, let's talk about that. How did it go? I caught as much as I could of the broadcast.
But
they wouldn't cover you for some reason.
So through this week, I came in on Monday, and I've had about 5 people in the office go, should I ask about Porsche GP? Because they looked at my results.
Correct. And obviously under the pros.
And I was... Top 27s, let's say that. There were 28 cars or something.
Right.
Race 1, so I qualified all right. This is for the Porsche GP Carrera Cup, by the way, for people who aren't aware. I qualified for it in the amateur category.
Mm-hmm.
I did qualifying. It was decent with my lap. I was third to last. Then for most of the... Then in race 1, I finished third to last. But, like, I was slow, but consistent. So I maximised my limited talents to get that position, and I made a nice last lap overtake. However, annoyingly, only top 9 get points, and I finished 10th in the AMS. Then in race 2, moved up a couple of places.
How is it reverse grid?
When you're as far back as me, you don't even notice the reverse grid. There was a few instances, got up a few places, locked a tyre though on the third to last lap, and dropped a place, and then lost my head and tried to get it back and lost 2 more places. So I would have scored 3 points, and I scored 0 points in that race. So of all the drivers who entered that event, I was the only AM who didn't score any points. But I didn't crash into anyone. So yeah, it wasn't especially successful. And Thomas Cope, who asked about it in chat, chances are, Thomas, you would have probably done a better job with the spot than what I did. But Snetterton is next round.
Oh, awesome.
And I've done some laps, and it's quite nice. I've done a lot of laps at Thuxton. I think I've asked you a couple of times about Thuxton. I don't think you've had the chance yet to drive, but that's quite a lot of fun. Very unusual racing lines you have to take there. So, yes,
best of luck. I will try and watch more. But obviously, I did have it on as much as I could.
I wasn't on the broadcast at all.
I could see your name when the scrolling thing happened. Yeah. But no, that's not an insult. That was, I imagine it was extremely tough.
It is tough. But, yeah, we'll see if I can get a point.
I deliberately didn't qualify. That's
sure.
So, yes, kudos to you.
Going into the round, I wanted to finish top 10 in both races. And I think I finished... There were only 11 AMs, but I think I finished 9th and 10th.
Okay.
So I'll take it. Let's talk about F1 sim racing.
For those who don't know, that means F1 esports.
Yes.
They rebranded.
And I'm the only one who...
Yeah, you're the only one
helping them out.
Yeah, you're the only one using... They don't even use it.
Their Twitter handle is still F1 esports. They are holding some LAN events in Stockholm, in Sweden, and we've had the first few rounds, and it was a very exciting finale to round 1.
Correct.
It was Ismail Farsi who managed to win, and we got a replay of his last lap overtake. Let's see if we can go.
Great opportunity. This could be it. Goes around the outside, and he's played it to perfection.
God, the cars look quick. Oh.
Contact and massive speed, and amazing moment. Pookie is up to second position.
Are they two teammates who came together, 2 and 3? Yeah. Oh. What a track this is, by the way. Whenever I fire up the F1 sim game, this is the first track I do.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty epic stuff.
Yeah. Then we had rounds 2 and 3, which Jano Opmir and Barry Bromand picked up victories at. So round 4 at Jeddah today.
Yeah, so I think qualifying's at 5 UK time and the race is at 8. So that should be a big one. I must say, just watching some of those clips, we give F1 sim racing and the F1 games generally a lot of stick. But I think there's a decent argument that it is the most entertaining esports or sim racing championship out there. Like,
I get what you mean for watching content.
Yeah, because obviously it's not realistic.
Sure.
And they're not kidding many people. But when you see that type of racing,
I get what you mean. I agree. Was it last year? I did a lot of I actually watched most of the major esports tournaments with the F1, the ESL, PECC, even the race room DTM event. And I liked the F1. Yeah, I agreed. I'm not about to jump in and play the game, but I appreciate the drivers, the skill level, and I enjoyed the racing.
and I like the strategy element of it as well. You got the soft and the prime tires, which really isn't something that happens on
That's what
iRacing.
One of my favourite iRacing broadcasts to watch is an IndyCar road race.
Yeah,
it's just when I can't work out what's happening, but I'm sitting back and watching it unfold. Love it, love it.
I linked something else. What did I link? Oh, that was just some clips of Bahrain, sorry, in the F1 sim racing. Another very entertaining moment.
Goes Pookie. Inside line for the defence goes the Ferrari. Pookie goes a long way round and takes the lead. He's climbed past all of them.
And yeah, you got some of these drivers who go from 16th to 1st and stuff like that.
He got to the lead for all of a couple of moments. Trying to
Whoa.
swing around the outside. Will there be room? Risking contact is Ronha.
Ronha's looking good though again this season.
Still in third, but look how close he is to the lead.
And obviously, let's not forget this is a LAN event, as you can see Ronha there.
Is unbelievable here around Bar. Please, guys, please.
They got stewards and yeah. I do love that Ronha is out there slapping after all for everything he went through. Now it's just LAN event, and he's rocking up. And yeah, love it.
Yeah, proving he's
what a way
very good.
That's the only response he's ever made. Winning LAN events. That's it. That's my best response I can make.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's do this sort of a game, but I sort of brought this one up because I still get cyberbullied about saying that Daytona isn't a very good event. And the reason why I said that Daytona wasn't a very good event was because a couple of years ago, me and Tim Cox ranks the iRacing special events. Yep. And so I thought, let's bring that back and
it's been a few years.
Put in the 2025 iRacing special events tier list.
Let's do it. I'm sure we're going to agree.
Let's change some of these labels. So let's say like F here, and then shall we say NA?
Sure.
I think some of them might be NA. I think for us.
Yeah.
Well, this is an odd order, but thank you to whoever made this, because this has got all of the events on it. Let's start, I guess, with what they said we should start with. Thruxton, do you think you're going to do it?
This is the
Touring Cars 4 hours, I believe, at Thruxton.
Maybe a couple of years ago when touring cars were good.
Sure. I mean, a D?
Sure, you can rank this more than me.
If this was Mazdas, I'd be all over it.
Exactly.
But being touring cars, I'm not so convinced. 6 Hours of the Glen.
I mean, I love this event.
I think this might be an S, honestly.
Yeah, it's such a short. All specials are long. This one, I love this one. It's just a lot packed into a short race at a good track with all the IMSA class.
Bathurst 1000. So this is the supercars one.
I'll be honest. I've never been brave enough to do it.
No, I've never.
I like watching it.
The supercars.
I've watched Emery do it every year. She does it. I'm just not brave enough.
Sure.
Every time I jump into the car, I brake at the 6,000 board because I still don't make the corner. I'm like, I'm out.
You see the corner and you're like, about time I get on the brakes. Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, come on, lock up. No, I plow on. No, I get out. I love the event. I think winning, it's got to be high because winning this is top class. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So A's for me, I suppose.
Really?
What do you think?
Well, I think we should do it in terms of how much we enjoy it. Not how much, not how good.
I only enjoy it to
objectively
watch it.
Shall we put it at C?
Sure. I only enjoy it to watch it. You're not getting me out there.
Bathurst 12 hours. I'm not a big fan of this one. I've pursued it a few times. But it's so tricky.
And it's single class.
Yeah, it used to be more fun when you had the Porsche Cups overtaking GT3s on the straights.
I mean, I always do this one. I had fun last year. It is a lot of prep. Like, the prep is tiring. It's rewarding when you finish, if you finish. But it is single class. It's a tiring race because it feels like a sprint race.
I would put this at C.
Yeah, you're gonna get. Don't visit Australia, mate. Yeah, that's fine.
Brickyard 400. I'm tempted to put this as NA. I'm not sure.
I know nothing about it.
I'm knowledgeable enough. The Brickyard is Indy, so that's the NASCAR event at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I just don't know it well enough.
I don't really know why it's such a big deal. Bristol 500. Again, I think we're not knowledgeable enough.
No.
I'm not sure about this.
This is the Festival of Speed.
Yeah.
This is the Formula Ford, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what track they ran?
Wasn't it Brands last year? This year? I'm just checking.
But yeah, this is the Formula Ford cars. But I think it's quite a quick event.
It's well advertised. Brands Hatch. Yes, 2024 is at Brands Hatch. Let me check this year. Festival of Speed. Wow, they've got all new logos in there. Everything's changed,
Yeah,
by the way.
some of the logos are quite nice.
I can't find it. Yeah. I think it looks great. Again, it's not for me. It's next one's at Brands.
Yep.
And I think there's isn't there? They run
there's heats and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly what I was trying to say. I just couldn't get the word out. This again, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm tempted to put this NA. I mean,
Sure.
I might give it a go or something. But I don't like the Formula 4s. I know some people really like it.
Love it, but I'm just astronomically slow.
Sure.
I love the car. I think the force feedback feels fantastic, but then I jump into a real practice session. I'm like, oh, okay, I obviously don't know what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah. Chili Bowl. Again, I think NA, unfortunately. But it looks quite cool. I like the idea of an indoor circuit.
Yep.
That's quite a unique thing. You really only have that in karting. Coke 600. There's a Patson here. Crandon. I think we've got to put that in there as well, even though I think Crandon looks quite cool. That's the off-road one.
Coke 600's Daytona, isn't it? Isn't it? Hold on.
Or is it the Charlotte one?
Coke 600. Oh, it is Charlotte. Yeah, I've seen this live.
That one's an absolutely epic.
Yeah.
That's like 4 hours, right?
Yeah,
4 or 5
exactly.
hours.
Yeah, I was there for it live when I lived there. I don't know why I said Daytona. I meant Charlotte. Daytona 24.
Here we go. So, I mean, for me, this would be like
You want this
B.
Oh, I thought you were going to go F.
No, I think realistically, I mean, I did win it, so that puts it up in my estimations. But like it is quite a good event. Oh,
it is, yeah.
And the amount of drivers who take part in it, you can't help but
I think it's
wrapped up in it.
Even if we had Le Mans back,
it was still bigger, wasn't it?
It was still bigger than Le Mans, yeah.
So yeah, we'll put it in S. Daytona 500. We can talk about this one.
Yes, I love this one.
I've never tried it actually.
I tried it. I sort of met someone on track. Like we basically hooked up for the whole race. Looked after each other, helped each other. I really enjoyed the race. It was a lot of work though. I don't know if I don't know if that were live because I'm asking them thousands of questions, especially repairs. The whole principle of pitting and you just stay. They're like, fix your car. I'm like, yeah, but position. They're like, as long as the safety car doesn't get ahead of you, then what does it matter?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
And you
look
can
at come
your
out
relative
just be front of him. And then you can jump back. Like I loved it, and I got over the course of time, I got my car fixed back and everything. And then I loved this event. It was really so much more rewarding than the Indy 500 because Indy 500 is just tire clip, everyone explodes.
Indy, you have to be so passive.
Correct.
Because and the draft, I guess it's the same in stock cars, but the draft is so strong, at least I know in Indy, that it doesn't matter if you're at the back. Everyone's staying in a pack with one another.
This was great. This was A to me.
A, sure. Yep.
I
I'm
loved
happy
it.
with that. Spa 24. Another tough
is
event that
grueling.
I've found in the past.
Yeah. This is
And super competitive.
single class, grueling. I wish it was multi-class. I don't know. It's a tough race on all the drivers. It's a long race. It can turn into a long sprint race. It's not like you're bump drafting and following. You are just competing for 24 hours in single class. And it can be the most boring. You get yourself into a 20-second ahead, 20-second behind bubble, you're going to stay there for
Sure, yeah.
7
and you haven't
hours.
got traffic to deal with. I think this is an A or B.
It is, yeah. Probably A. It's up there. It's just grueling.
Firecracker 400, I actually don't know what that is.
I think it's a new event. Yeah, I don't think it was in 2024.
Is it like a NASCAR sponsor or something? Like, is it?
Must be. Winton Cup Series takes place at Daytona in the historic cars.
Oh, okay, in the historic cars. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
We're just not educated enough.
No,
I don't think it was in 2024. Maybe someone can tell me wrong.
But yeah, that's in the 1987 NASCAR Cup cars, which iRacing released a few years ago.
All right, what we got up next?
Indy 500 is next.
Indy 500.
Now,
I love
yeah.
this. I've never gone 2 laps.
Obviously, we all know my history with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm inclined to put it at A.
I agree. I wish I was good at it.
No, I mean, there's not much skill in it. Well, that's but not much skill in it in the bottom splits is what I mean.
Yeah,
Survival
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
a dogfight on the last 10 laps. Indy 6 hours, I have no interest in this. I will never do this event. I hate the circuit. It's one of my least favourite circuits in the world.
I've done it, but we got absolutely bleep by iRacing.
Because you were top split, weren't you?
Because of the manufacturer thing. We just, I don't know. I've done it 2 years in a row. I never come away having enjoyed it. I don't know. It just feels awkward. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It just always feels like an awkward to do multi-class at. It doesn't feel like there's a flow. It just feels like there's a constant hoping you can just about avoid everything.
And it could so easily be removed because we got much better IMSA events. We got 4 really good IMSA events.
Give us Road America.
Yeah, we could have Road America instead, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is. What is that? 400, JR 400 something?
Again, I think that's on the 2025 schedule.
Oh, is it a charity thing, perhaps?
Let me see. I saw it on the schedule. Again, don't know what it is. The Dow Junior charity event.
This is a new one, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Mini stocks. Are they the new
Iowa.
cars?
Yes, I think so. The really teeny things. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Knoxville. Don't know what that is.
No. The MX500 looks insane, right? That's the Mazda Endurance.
Yeah, what is this one? I'm not aware of this one.
Yeah, this is...
Is it VAR?
No, I think this is Oval.
Oh, Martinsville.
Yep, in the Mazda. 500 laps.
I don't think I even own Martinsville. That doesn't sound great.
It looks great.
I'm not against short ovals. I do enjoy races at short ovals. Like Phoenix is a really good circuit, but I'm not sure how much fun it would be.
For 500 laps?
500 laps. I think of like the front right tyre would just be... Yeah, that sounds... I'm not.
I just don't know anything about it, I'm afraid.
I think as we know the Corby rates it, I think we'll put it D.
Okay.
As good as Indy 6 hours. Nürburgring 24. I mean, you could ask 100 people, and I think 50 of them would put it as S. 50 of them would put it as F. For me, probably the best circuit in the world. I honestly think it's like...
If I'm going to race that track, I want to do it in endurance. It is one of the best. It's one of the hardest. 5 classes, 24 hours.
I think that's the biggest criticism I have of it, is how many classes so you have barely any opposition.
Correct.
Half of them will go out in the first hour.
Yeah, a lot of the time, you could have 8 competitors. A lot of the time,
Yeah.
you're going to be against 8 TCRs, of which 2 might get killed in turn 2. Yeah, it can be frustrating for sure. I wish it was addressed. I mean, they did try getting rid of a class recently, but they buckled once the people started.
Well, they got rid of the Mazdas now, haven't they? So they got what?
Yeah,
4
but that was
classes?
just to GR86 came in, didn't it? No,
But
I
we
think
don't have GR86 anymore either, do we? I think it's just GT3, GT4, Porsche Cup, and TCR, I believe.
I will check. We've got it open. Is GT3, Porsche Cup, GT4, TCR, and a new BMW.
Oh, it's the M2. Okay, that's the one that I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, so there is
No,
still
it is
5
still
class.
I would put this as C.
Oof. B.
You think?
Yeah,
But I think you could just do the 4-hour event, whatever it's called. It's not
The
called
VLN.
VLN anymore, but
oh yeah, the NEC.
yeah, that. I'd rather do that than this.
Yeah, but if you're going to get a tattoo of a race completion, it's this one, isn't it?
Sure.
If you survive this and you have a good race, you get a tattoo.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the Iron Man.
In I think it was 2016 or no, I guess it was 2017. My team finished 6th in top split, I think, in this event in GT3s. Back when it wasn't nearly as competitive as it is now, and yeah, we limped around for about half the race, but managed to secure that spot. Petit Le Mans, fantastic circuit. Chaos when it comes to the multi-class.
This is higher than S for me. It's my favourite one, the one I look forward to all year long. It is the hardest, most brutal. It is a multi-class track, but everything has to go right for it to be. I mean, I've been on the receiving end, and I actually caused my action in one of these petites in like second hour in killed 6 GT3s.
Sure.
Which I wasn't proud of. It was a small mistake. But yeah, I love this event. Love this event.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Portimao 1000. I'm not familiar with this one. This is another new special event.
Portimao 1000.
It's got the classic cars, yeah.
Wow. HPD GT1, GT2 at Portimao. I mean, sounds giga.
Yes, a lot of people like those cars. I'm not a big fan of any of those cars, honestly. I know some people love the HPD compared to the P217.
Yep.
But
you don't like the GT1, especially?
I never got into it.
Oh man, I had a chance to do a charity race at Le Mans I say recently, for 6, 7 months, 8 months ago, and yeah, I've always loved those cars. Very raw, and the HPD is a good car.
We could put it at B. It's a good circuit.
Yeah, it's a fantastic circuit. Yeah, I always thought it needed more multi-class, so this is great.
Road America 500. This is the Camel GT.
I love this one. This is probably my favourite. This in Petit Le Mans.
Yeah.
It's we've never finished it. We always do it in the Nissan beast of a car. But the Audis are so fast.
Sure.
They're slow in the corners, but they are absolutely rocket ships. Have you ever done this one?
Never done it. No. I own. I don't think I own the BMW, but I do own the Nissan. And
so we we got into top split, and in the broadcast race, we crashed before green. It's gone green. We've come through
Bill Mitchell, Canada.
Come through Canada, and you're all swooping through, and it just someone half spun, and yeah, we lost control.
I guess those cars are probably very brittle.
Yeah. And it's old tire model, very different to what you're used to. Yeah, those cars are insane. I have to put so much. I didn't get to race, but I have to put so much prep into do a stint. You can do a lap, but when you start trying to do 5, 6 laps together, you think, whoa, like I'm gonna have to concentrate. But yeah, I think it's great. Really, really good event.
We got the Raw before the 24. Personally, I dislike both GT4 cars and TCR cars, so it leaves me with the LMP3. This year, I may have done it if it weren't for Porsche GB that I had the next day.
I think it's the one chance for LMP3 to do some endurance.
Sure.
Because it misses out. It's a fantasy event, though. It's very unlike iRacing, right? This is made up.
This is made up, yeah.
Because the Raw before the 24 is just the same as the 24. It's just a practice race.
It's just a test event, yeah.
I like this. Maybe not. I don't think S or A, but I think it's a good event. So I'll let you.
I think we should put it at C.
Okay.
I don't think it's as good as Nürburgring 24. SCCA runoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
This
this always
is-
gets a lot of hype, but it's just something I've never done because it's based on an IRL championship. It's meant to be the what are the types of cars called? Hopefully someone in chat knows what they're called. Is it the trans cars? Oh man, I cannot remember what it used to be.
Transcontinental.
Tran-Am? I can't remember. Trans-Am? Yep, ignore me. I can't remember.
Sure.
It looks good. I've never done it. It always gets a lot of hype. I always think, oh, this year is the year, but I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, maybe we'll put it NA. I'm not familiar with it myself. Sebring 12 hours. I am not a big fan of Sebring, but I know this is an S.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
reality,
yeah.
it's a good length of race.
I think Petite's the one I look forward to the most. This is what I actually enjoy
Sure.
the most. I probably don't always think I'm going to love Sebring 12 because I race Sebring a lot. Blah blah blah. It's. But for some reason, I come away having enjoyed that one the most.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Sebring's just so fantastic for multi-class. Petite Le Mans as well, but everything has to go right. Otherwise, it's completely and utterly permanently over.
Sure.
Sebring doesn't feel as dramatic as that sentence.
Suzuka 1000. It's back again. Fuji, of course, replaced it recently.
Was it called the 1000 before? I thought it was called the Suzuka 10 hour before.
Yeah, I thought the real life event was changed from 1000 to 10 hours.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like iRacing have gone for like the old one. Or maybe they switched it back in real life. But yeah, Suzuka 1000. Nathan Deering is saying it's above S tier. I never actually did the Suzuka 10,000. So it would be hypocritical of me to put it in S.
You've done the Suzuka 10.
No, I haven't done any of these.
Oh, I've won. I've won this event, but I did have some good teammates.
Sure.
Gustavo.
Well, it's competitive. It's a single class again.
It's insanely competitive, and it's very tight. Everything needs to be right. I don't love Suzuka as much as you do. I don't hate Suzuka. Certainly don't hate it. Obviously, I wish I was better at it. For some reason, it's just not my track. But this is a great endurance.
Yeah. I think B.
Sure, it is a good one.
Even it out. Yeah, Tom asking, isn't it now Fuji? No, they've changed it back.
Yes, I will double check. But yes, I think Fuji's not. No, Fuji is not on the calendar for this year coming up.
The Winter Derby, I don't know anything about, so I'll
Nope.
put that in NA. And the Production Car Challenge, I would have done this.
I would have done this.
But I was away, as a lot of people are during Christmas. So iRacing could delay it to like
I
the
was
2nd
away.
of January or something.
I've got lots of teammates and friends who did this. Fantastic. Was it VIR in, what is it, 3 classes? 4 classes?
Yeah,
It's
I
the
feel
PCC
like
classes.
Yeah, like the BMW M2 is now in it, isn't it? And
I think the BMW
few others.
GT4 is the old one. Isn't that in PCC?
oh no,
now?
that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
even in the M.
No.
The M2 is not in it. No.
No, I think it's
the
Mazda, GR86, the old GT4 Beamer, and I can't remember. Yeah, but this looks great.
I would put this as B,
Go for it.
which is controversial as I put it above the Raw, but it's got the Mazda, so that's cool.
Yep.
And it's a much better circuit because VIR's really, really a good circuit.
I agree with everything you just said. VIR is an excellent track.
So we put nothing as F. If we were going to put anything as F, we'll keep it as is. But what would you say is the worst one? I would say it's Indy 6 hours.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's not needed. You can see the other IMSA events we put in S tier.
True.
And then Indy's there.
Yeah, that would easily be my pick. Yeah.
So let us know if you agree with our picks. I don't think we're that controversial. I think the Aussies probably dislike us. And maybe we've not done enough respect for Daytona and Indy 500. But I think everything else there is quite good. Apex Racing TV, we've got a few new series started. We had the first round of Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup the other day. And there was a bit of a collision down into turn 1. This was in Heat 2. Oof. And we had a lot of the pro drivers.
Oh, there's foliage on there because the grass actually looks good there.
The grass looks really good. There was a moment in race 1 which really showed off the grass well. It was this, where this guy travels through the grass. for him. So just had to floor it through. This was a pretty crazy moment as well. Hayden Bramley, a driver who I'm not familiar with, and he missed the chicane twice. But yeah, there's the foliage on display.
Wow, I need to try this out at home. I've left it off for so long.
I thought so. It wasn't just that he wasn't braking, he was getting back on the
That looks like grass.
You didn't lose a place for it. But yeah, it's like you're going through it with a lawnmower, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the first time. I don't actually know many people who do run it on, to be honest, because when it first came out, it was just a pixely mess.
Sure.
So you just leave it off, like. I might give, unless it costs FPS, then I'm not. I've got no, currently in this game, I've got no FPS to spare.
Sure.
At Daytona, it's insane. Come off the oval, 114, 120 FPS, down to 61. Feels like you go into a different game. You're going into the bus stop in Slideshow.
Yeah.
Drives me insane. Anyway, calm, David.
I talked about myself in Porsche GP earlier on, but actually the team did quite well. Luke managed to win race 2 of the evening.
I saw him and Berriman were, when I loaded up the broadcast, him and Berriman were side by side.
Yeah, so this is a replay of that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, some really nice balance things. So they were alongside for a lap. It is the shortest lap of the season. Apart from Knockhill, maybe? But yeah, this was for P4 in race 1.
Wow!
There he runs out of road, but again, maintains momentum. He's going to get through because Berriman is the one that goes backwards, and here comes Chadwick trying to buy into it as well.
Hey, did Chadwick think about free wide for a split second there?
Berriman, a little bit of a door bang and a hip check on his teammate there. So
Wow. Look how close this is.
Will Chadwick sat there going, "Come on, guys, I want to get past you two." Oh, that's going to be brave if you make that move, Will.
And I think he has made it work, hasn't he? Because he's got the job done. Yes, all of the car this time is ahead. So Luke McEwen goes through, and he worked very hard for that.
That's nice. That was good. Very nice driving. Holy moly. They're so smooth, aren't they? It's ridiculous.
So smooth, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So yeah, Luke managed to get P3 and P1, P4 and P11. He got new damage model in race 2, did Pete. For a moment, I could see his car, which really demonstrated just how far back he fell. And then Leo finished P8 and P2. Leo did really well. He got the reverse grid pole, did Leo. So it was actually an Apex 1-2. So congrats to Leo, who of course won the AMS a couple of years ago. Didn't do so well last season, but that's a really good start. And if he can keep getting those reverse grid poles, then he could be in for a very successful championship.
It's true.
That is everything on the notes.
Yes, we covered some breaking news that happened as it happened. AC Evo went live while we were live, and the WRC announcement while we were live.
Yeah.
Very adaptive.
A bit of a behind-the-scenes information. I was concerned that we had nothing to talk about today, about 3 hours ago. But fortunately, you managed to find some more news stories.
And we're good at talking nonsense
We
for an
talked
hour.
nonsense for a while, especially about iRacing special events. So, yeah, we've made an hour. This is above average.
We make it look easy.
But, you know, people must look at us and think, wow, I
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
No.
You know, that looks so tricky to just sit down and...
Talk about your hobby.
Yeah. Oh, I really admire these guys, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
Keep the fan mail coming, and we will, for now, say goodbye. I didn't say earlier on, but of course, do make sure... It's maybe a little bit late now, but Apex Racing Academy do have their Daytona 24 offer. So if you are racing the GTPs and you're a couple of days out and you're struggling for setups, go over to apexracingac.com and take advantage of the totally free offer that we have. You just need to put in your email and you'll be emailed the setups, and also a track guide as well from Jamie Fluke.
And it goes without saying as well, if you ping us on any social media with a story we think we might miss, or a story you think we're going to miss, or one we did miss, then it'll save us work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do it all for it, you want to structure do it.
The end goal of this is I just rock up.
Correct, we just rock up.
have a sheet and basically just have a scripts.
It would be good to just go through our Reddit or Twitter or things people sent us.
Yeah.
We're just reaction.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, please do that. But for now, me and David will say goodbye, and we'll see you back next week.